Welcome back, Raccoon players, and we are working on Nathie's arcade's map. Alright. What we're doing here is we're just building some assets, and we are going to do a lot more experimental with this map because Nathie requested that we try to get some more realism into the map as much as possible so that it looks a little bit more real. So we're going to use a lot of different things and techniques to try to bring in more realism into the artwork that we're going to be building for him. It's going to be an arcade kind of hangout area so that people can just like mess around and hang out in a space where they will enjoy. So this is not going to be a huge like quest map or anything. It's just going to be kind of just a simple hangout map, but we're going to be very experimental with it. So we're going to bring in a lot of like large textures like this. This is an actual table. It's actually, let's say, props, furniture. It's like the table, the basic table here. And what I did was I just scaled it up and then moved it to the floor, and then the floor has like different lighting effects depending on where you actually place the item. So if I froze it here, it'll have like a different lighter texture, but when I froze it down here, it kind of has like this red texture. So it kind of like brings in like the realism with the maker pen artwork. So we'll bring in some of the maker pen artwork with some kind of like realism in the background just to bring in more realistic setting. So it's kind of like what he requested, and it's kind of the direction that we're going to be going. I'm going to take a look at my comments real quick. Hello to all the new people that just joined the stream. Just give me a second. I'm actually gonna turn off my notifications. I forgot to do so. Alright, so we are building Nathie's arcade map. It's a YouTube promotional room for Nathie. What we're gonna be doing is just creating an arcade for him because he just wants like an arcade hangout that actually is inspired by another game. So I'm going off of those kind of look and feel. So what I'm doing is I'm actually bringing in some kind of like realism texture from the props that we're using and dragging them into different lighting zones, why I'm using the old laser tag map so we can get like these kind of light fields here. This light field is actually where is that light field? Yeah, it's actually over here. Basically what I did was I created the chair and I created a maker pen object within that chair, and I kind of like just dragged it all the way out into this field over here because I found this lighting field. As you can see this light. It's kind of neat. So it actually has this light. So I basically marked this lighting field so I can like edit this at any point in time and create it throughout the whole map. So I'll probably just use just kind of like fine lines just to bring in some kind of like really nice kind of a glitchy blue just to give it that arcade effect. I won't use it as a solid wall or anything because that's a little bit harsh on the eyes. So I want to keep it to like a minimum about using that for sure. This was just an experiment here, and it's a little bit chaos right now, but like if I just use like a small line on it and then just like put it on little small places like the screens or like an outline to create an outline of an arcade piece, then it should work just fine. But this is a little bit too much. This is a little bit too much of a solid object for a light field like this. So there's several different light fields in this map. Like this red is very nice. Like this is like a little bit out there, and basically I kind of got that red from that. So what we can do is like this red is actually different. I'll go over my palette, go into shape, and I'll actually click the red shape. this is what the red looks like in this map right now, but I was able to find this red in this map. So it was kind of, this is basically the red I'll probably be using within the map. So I just found the light field elsewhere. So I can give you an example on that. So I'm just going to clone this chair real quick. So I clone this chair, and then I go into edit, and I could like touch all these little pieces, right? I can go into create cube. I'm just going to create a white object, make sure I get some good colors. And what I do was, I'll take this object, and I haven't pressed done, so I'm still in the group, and I just will drag it out here and try to find a spot. So like this is like a really nice, kind of like a purple looking. It's kind of nice. Go up here, got like a kind of small purple, kind of like a tense purple there. It's pretty nice. Now if I changed it to like say green, because it's the color I'm using, recolor, what does that look like there? Well, that doesn't look really really nice now, does it? Yeah, so I'm gonna just like, ooh, like that's kind of like an interesting color, kind of like got a green effect there with the dark. Getting more green. Yeah, get a little over here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going around the map, testing the light fields within the map to create the colors that I want. So I have this color right here, and if I go back into where I'm working right now, it is now that color. Oh, wait, no, it's this color. This color is better, but I'm just giving an example. So if I go back into edit again, touch the individual shapes, go back to where I was. If I can find it again, hopefully I can find it. Pretty sure it's around here somewhere. Usually I make them super huge, so I know exactly where they are, but I might have lost that one. That's alright. That's alright. It's not like I was going to use that one anyway, so I just delete the chair. Because I don't want to keep the chair because I have an object all the way out there kind of connected to the chair, so it's kind of like, oh, if I move that chair, that other object will move, and it will move on a weird axis where I can't find the chair. So I'm just going to delete the chair, and I'll find a color later that will fit the style. Alright, I'm just going to take a look at my comments real quick. Yeah, so that's how you guys create this kind of like lighting effect. If you guys go to Colossus, you'll see a lot of this. That's kind of like where we kind of discovered that kind of lighting, those light fields was in that, and it was actually used this map. We just kind of went way up top to use that. But I'm actually going to stay within the map to create Nathie's room because it will give me the nice kind of like realism that he wants. So we'll probably use a lot of this kind of signage. There's a really beautiful light field that's actually this color, and it actually brightens up like this color, like this neon. I have to go find it. I don't know exactly where that's at, but I have to go find that. And I know that it is in this map, so I will use that a lot. And it's not actually that harsh on your eyes, so it's not going to cause any problems. And then I'll probably use like a light, an intense light, to actually give this kind of effect behind whatever kind of lights I'm using, and this kind of light here and this depth on my maker pen objects, just to bring in a realism and to kind of trick the eye that something is real as much as possible. I'll probably use a lot of this kind of carpet too, but I'm probably going to try to stay away from taking photos because taking photos takes away from PSVR's stuff and might make them crash, so I'm trying to like stay away from that as much as possible. But all in all, this is gonna be a good map, I think, and it's gonna be good. Right now, I've actually started building a kind of a gumball machine. I'm trying to keep it simple too, but trying to keep that realism. But you see, like, I am going to use brick walls, but I'm not going to use all of them as brick walls. I'm just going to have like sparingly some brick walls in places. What I'm going to do to help save space on this, because this is a lot of objects, I'm probably just going to have like a couple big brick walls and then leave it at that, and then have a couple of solid pieces elsewhere. And then what I'm going to do is because this is like a lot of shapes here. If I go into done and I go in configure, it's like environmental here. What we can do is make it decorational, so it saves space in the room, but still want to use it sparingly because it is a lot of objects in a group and it could crash a PSVR. So we're always trying to think about how not to crash PSVR as much as possible. So we're trying to like limit that, but just give, you know, some kind of details in places that are more noticeable, so it looks and feels more real, and it also brings in that realism of kind of like detailed and then less detailed. So when I was building these, I'm trying to think about like how can I use less shapes to create a really nice arcade machine, because we're going to need a lot of these, so they have to be very simple, but they also have to look really kind of like they're an arcade machine, right? So what I started off with was I created this white, I just started off with white just to try to create the structure real quick, just to kind of give the idea of like how I was going to create this. And it's white. So what I did was, I'm just going to actually drag it over here and take this apart real quick. I'm going to go into the group now and select this. So this is like two pieces, kind of like just joined together, but I'm just going to like drag things apart so you guys can see how this was built. Yeah. Yeah, so you know, I kind of like tug these in a little bit, so it kind of gives that kind of like a round effect, but it's not actually round. Yep. So that's basically how it was built. It's kind of really kind of simple. Kind of. I could probably make this more simple actually, but I kind of want to leave it as is for now before I decide to make it more simpler. And I probably will make it a little bit more simpler later, but I just want to like kind of like have a starting point of like how I'm going to create this, and basically kind of like start from there. So this is like them in a couple of different colors. We got this really nice interesting purple because of this map. It actually has different colors in it, and it kind of just tricks people's eyes to think that it is something, but this is a really nice kind of purple that kind of has like this really kind of like pinkish purplish gradient, which I kind of like use. And then we have like this really nice red. So this red is like definitely different than this red because this one has a light field somewhere in about. I have like a big shape to mark it where I want that, and I'll probably go like mark other colors a little bit later, but that's how you get those colors. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the comments right now. I'm working on Nathie's room, famous YouTuber, really cool guy. So we're gonna do something that he really loves, and that's arcade kind of style. We're going off of a game that he loves. I won't mention the game quite yet. I'll mention it a bit later, just to make sure that that's exactly the direction we're taking. And we're going to bring in some realism a lot. We're going to bring in a lot of realism. Try to, as much as possible, to tie it in with the maker pen objects. So that's kind of the route we're taking, and kind of building that route. So yeah, we're working on Nathie's room, and it's gonna be great because it's just gonna be a hangout room, and it's gonna be fun, guys. So I'm gonna actually finish this this little machine here, so you guys can decide to ask me questions if you like and everything. Alright. Do you guys have any questions on your rooms, or... Wait. I don't want to do that. I actually want to go into settings, go into uniform shapes, make sure I get a perfect circle because I want to use a circle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into move, make sure I'm still on snap, drag it forward, and then drag it in here. And then what I'm going to do is, like, I really kind of want to keep this as simple as possible, but kind of bring in some kind of details. I might even actually go back and actually make it more simpler. I'm gonna drag this in here and drag this up. Just trying to create a notch here, but I'm trying to not to add that much detail. Now I could add a lot of detail in here, and trust me, I want to, but it's just not good for PSVR. We just kind of have to stay away from that. Now I tried to keep at least 80 to 70% more space in the room for PSVR so that they can have some room to go to actually load in as much as possible. Sometimes that, you know, you can only do so much. It's trying to work out some other things in the back end to help with that for the PSVR issue. So I made this. I'm just gonna actually scale this down. I'm gonna deselect snap and go back into scale here and scale it down. Go ahead and go back on snap. I'm gonna go ahead and clone this object here. There we go. I'm just gonna kind of like make it a different area so it looks like it's actually been messed around with and not look perfect. It has like a little bit of character there. Alright, so I also need a kind of a lip here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select red. It's not going to look red because it looks black right now, but what I'll do is I'll detach this object, and then I'll bring in the red. I'll go find this light field and I'll bring in the red a little bit more, but I'll do that later because I just want to make my assets real quick, and I just don't want to deal with like figuring out where I'm going to place everything. I'll place everything later, basically. So go ahead and put this in here. And then I'm actually going to add a white in here. And I'm stuck on a uniform shape. That's alright, I can just go into manipulation and manipulate this down. Go ahead and put this up. Now I can see that I'm adding a little bit too much detail in here, and that is very true. So I'm actually going to delete that. That's fine. And then just go into creating, maybe I'll make this, oops, undo, recolor. I'm just gonna go through a couple options here, see what happens. And you see like these colors look really different, right? Well, it's because of the light in here that's making it look that way. It's actually the same color, it's just tricking our eyes, which is fine. That looks good. I'll probably change that later once I change the light fields a little bit with this object here, but I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. I'm actually gonna delete this because I don't feel like I need that anymore. Alright. Go ahead and I'm going to select this, bring this up here. Yeah, great. Alright. Whoops. Oh, look. I actually didn't create this within this object. That was my bad. I'm gonna undo, move, undo, move. So now that I'm there, what I can do is I can just select this, and these three little dots will pop up, and I'll select on the dots, and it says merge shapes. So now I merged the shapes, and whoops, don't want to merge those yet. I will probably merge those later, but I'm not gonna merge those right now. Now it's together. Now if I didn't want that, I can go back into actually editing, and because I didn't freeze it yet, I can actually just get into this object and start to edit. And what I could do is just select all these items again, and then I could split it from the shape, and then they'll be separate pieces. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to go ahead and check my comments here real quick. Hi! Yeah, so if you go into your ribbons here, like let's say the tube, the tube, and then I'm on snap, right? So this is what, let's go better lighting, guys. I can't, it's not a good place to go draw stuff. All right, so this is what it looks like, right? And it looks like this because I'm on snap. Now if I take it off snap, and you can see how different that looks. Looks pretty nice, right? Now, if we want to change the settings on that, we have tube ribbon width. And we could do manual. Now, manual allows you to, as much as you pull down on your trigger here, it will actually give you more width and less width. So I'm going to show you real quick. So I have more width here, and I'm going down. Now, this actually takes a lot of practice. It took me some time to get used to this part. But you can see, like, I continuously was able to draw really thick and then get really thin and then draw thick again and get really thin. And now you could do more control here with the 1/8. So it just constantly stays at 1/8. And usually when I'm trying to, like, make really nice tubes like this, I try to, like, curve my hand, like, at a smooth angle, because if I don't and I just do this, like, I'm just gonna get this jankiness, right? So you want to kind of, like, take your time on it. So you kind of, like, push, like, I'll just start here and then I'll just drag down, but I want to keep enough space between the objects, because if they're tight, they're just gonna start looking like that, as you can see. So if you did this, look how nice that is. And if you want to drag it down, what you do is you can go to, we're just going to select this one because this is in that group. Split that. What we can do here is, okay, there we go. We can actually scale this down now, and it has, like, that really nice curve. We can scale it down and we can get this, like, really nice small detailed shape here, right? That's a really nice trick there that you can do. And what you could do is you could continue to draw at a larger shape, and you could, like, scale that down so it'll have more width to it, and then you can go into, like, full tube, right? Done. And scale. So there you go. The ribbon is really cool. I love the ribbon. We're probably going to see a lot more things being done in the future with these. So here we go. Whoops. And I'm trying to keep enough space between them, and then what I'm doing is I'm trying to go on a circular motion with my arm, just to try to keep it really nice and steady, because if I didn't and I just did this, I kind of got used to it. So it takes a lot of practice actually get it right. And then if I went into settings and I went into 1/8, you can see the spiral motion. Kind of cool there. If you blow this up, you can actually create a little bridge and go through that. It's pretty cool. Anyways, you have to also keep in mind that ribbons and tubes take up the most space in your room, so you want to use these sparingly and try not to use them as much. But there are going to be some more modifications to the ribbon and tubes in the future, so you'll be able to have a little more control over their space usage in the future. I don't know when this is coming out, but it is in the works. It's gonna be cool. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at my comments real quick. Yeah, I can accept friend requests. I'll accept them later. Yeah, personally, I don't actually use tubes either, mainly because they actually take up the most space in your room. And that is, like, not fun at all, actually. That's not fun at all. So, okay, delete. Yep. So how many of you guys are like in the competition or trying to do the competition? That'd be kind of cool to see how many people are actually doing the competition right now. Honestly, I always wish I was doing the competition right now, but I'm doing some other cool rooms. We just got done with the Jade's room. Jade, the quest of the Jade. Pretty good there. Okay, so I actually just copied this object here, and I'm actually going to modify it to actually make it a little bit different than the others because I want them to be like different styles and not the same style. So what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna try to make this look different as possible. Probably going to bring this in. How many of you guys actually like arcades? Because I do. I actually like arcades. I'm not sure if I hang out with them very much anymore. Do a lot of other things now, but this is gonna be kind of cool. I'm really excited. We're gonna actually have some arcade games actually working too, but we're gonna try to keep it spare, just only with a little bit amount, so we can, you know, not try to retrieve, like, not have that many crashing issues. Hopefully, we don't want crashing issues as much as possible. All right. Go ahead and check out my comments real quick. Oh, yeah, okay, for the new people here that just joined, I did explain this earlier in the stream. So what is actually happening with these chairs right here, because this is actually different too. The reason why I'm building in this map is because I actually have different light fields going on in this map, because laser tag has this old laser tag has a lot of really cool light fields in here. And what happens is, if I go into, let's say I want to clone this chair, okay? Actually, I gotta press on. So, if I go into this chair and I go into edit, I can like touch all these individual pieces here, right? If I draw a shape within this group, I'm just gonna make it white. Oops, I don't want to be on ribbon. Undo draw shape. Okay. Kind of make that big. All right, so now I made my shape. I'm gonna go drag it over here because I know exactly where that blue light field is. So I'm actually gonna go over here, and right now, like, there's like a really nice purple in this light field, so you can see like the really nice purple. It's really pretty. But I know that it's over here somewhere, or it's down here. Oh yeah, there it is. Is it there? Yeah. Okay, I think this is where that cool light blue, crazy blue is. I'm gonna go to it real quick. You want to use this actually kind of a bit sparingly because it's a little bit harsh on the eyes. It's just an experiment right now, but like if I drag this object over here, I get that, and then when I go back over here, I'm gonna fly as fast as I can, like a Superman, guys. Superwoman, because I'm totally not, you know, Superman. Superwoman, for sure. But, definitely gonna go and try to find my entrance here. Yep, entrance. Whew. Now I have 2 crazy blue bright chairs. Yep. So there you go. Voila. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this chair because I don't want 2 of them. So what I can do now that I have this awesome, cool, editable shape, I can go ahead and edit it and create on it. Now if I create too many shapes on this object, we found that it kind of loses its color, so you want to be like sparingly with the object. So what I'm going to do with this chair, I'm not going to keep the chair though, but I'm going to keep the color. So I'm going to go ahead and try to use this sparingly. Keep it kind of small so it's not too much of a crazy headache. Doesn't give you a crazy headache, you know. Like kind of does give you. Hopefully it doesn't bring any seizures. So like if I go this way. and then it kind of like has that really nice glowing effect. Now that is cool because that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this map. We're going to actually bring in a lot of this kind of blue, and there is a beautiful bright pink somewhere in the map too. I gotta go find it, and then we'll probably be using that too. So that's what I said earlier in my stream, and I said it again because we got some new people that just joined, and they're like, how did you get that crazy blue color? Well, that's how you get crazy blue colors, and there's lots of colors in this map. That's why I love this map so much. So yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Okay, so if you guys want to find more information on the competition, you just have to go to your bulletin board in your dorm room and look at the bottom of the bulletin board, and you could find the rules there. And it lists out everything. So all you do have to click is on the button, and it will pop up a list of the rules and what's going on with the competition. So that, and it will tell you how to submit it and what are the rules and what to tag your rooms with. So if you guys are building anything cool fantasy rooms, then it's best to enter it into the competition for sure. Alright, so since I got this awesome color in here, I'm probably just going to keep it right there, but I'm going back into edit because now I got to be careful because this object is a part of this chair. So if I am editing this object, because these are two different objects, I can't edit this one when I'm in this group. So I'm going to go back into edit so I can touch my individual pieces here. And go ahead and manipulate this down a little bit. I'm probably going to delete this. Alright, go ahead and manipulate this. And probably gonna give it this kind of like look. Kind of like trying to go off of, create some different styles so they don't look the same here. So that it looks kind of different. So not like there's some variety, so they just don't all look the same and it's like boring, you know. We wanted to keep some character within the in the room. It is a hangout room, so we also want to keep it simple too, but we also don't want it to be super boring. And it won't be boring, I promise. It won't be boring. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. I like where that's going. I'm gonna go ahead and select this area here, select that, clone it, and drag it to the other side. I'm going to now deselect, move this object forward, go ahead back into selection, and then go ahead and into move. Alright, now I gotta make sure I'm in the exact same zone, so like this angle is here, and I kind of want to match up with that angle. I could draw out a ruler. That's a really good way to make sure things are lined up correctly. But I'm just gonna drag it over just so slightly here. All right, there we go. That's great. So now I want to kind of like change this up a little bit. I kind of don't want this actually anymore. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to recolor this. Got a nice blue there. Maybe I'll just recolor it again. Yeah, recolor. Open. Yellow. Pink. Brown. Oh, black. Nah. Okay, which one do I want? I'll just do this. I can't decide, guys. Alright, I'll probably keep it like purple and red, but I'm just gonna color the whole thing this color right now, and then distract what other colors I want. So, I'm probably gonna do a black actually. Do a black border here, or I can do a yellow. I want to also make sure it's not like that one too. So, maybe a green. No. Black. Yeah, I would just go with black. And then we'll probably do, yeah, looks good. And then that one, that color, and then probably make, no, I don't like that. Yeah, it should look good. Alright, I'll go back into edit, go back into recolor, and make this black. Black. And then I'm actually going to manipulate this out just a little bit more to give it a little more definition between those shapes there. Alright, so it is simple, so that PSVR can load into the room. So I could actually go all out on these arcade machines, and I would love to, but I'm going to try to keep them as simple as possible because that's kind of important right now. To keep them as simple. But I'm gonna add these little details, so it's gonna look more detailed than it actually is. So it's gonna actually trick people to thinking that it is awesomely detailed, but it's not. It's actually quite simple here. Go ahead and edit those. So now I'm editing the blue shape, this shape here. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over. Go ahead and select. Clone. Yeah. Ooh. Go undo draw shape. So that looks pretty cool. Probably going to create some more lines. Clone. There we go. And we'll probably have like some disco music going on around. It's gonna be kind of cool. I'm not sure if I actually like that. But definitely could probably put it up in the sign area here. Make some really cool lighting color effects. I don't want to make too much crazy colors because it could cause some eye problems, so I want to definitely keep it sparingly. So I'll probably use the pink and probably go over this line here to create that like a really nice typography words here if I have space for it. If I don't, I'll just probably just leave it as is and then call that good, which is probably gonna end up happening. Something. But yeah. So if I go ahead and I just drag these down, so like now you guys understand like how to get those really cool color effects. But I would be careful about using them because if you overdo it, then it might cause some problems. So people will not like that too much. So use them sparingly. Gonna try to be responsible about it. All right. See, I would even say like this was a little bit much, and I kind of want to keep it. Yeah, it's a lot, so I probably won't use that. So yeah, but that looks good though. Like just outlining it looks really good. So it's gonna add a lot to the map. I'm gonna take a look at my comments here. No, okay, so that if I save the chair as an invention, it will not keep its color because the color is only in this map. You can only find this color in this map. So if I actually saved it as an invention and I brought it into another room, it will not happen. So what would happen was this chair would actually be it actually has another object so far out. Yeah, so that's where this color is coming from over here. So if I cloned or I saved it as an invention, that object will be attached to that chair. So if you rotate it on an axis, it would carry that object with it, and it would actually lose its color because the color is actually only coming from that part of the map. So I'm actually using that part of the map to get this color. So if I saved it as an invention, it will not save the color at all. Hello guys. Yeah, so for those who just arrived, we're creating some assets for Nathie's room. He wants kind of like this really cool old arcade look, and we're gonna do that. I'm experimenting with some objects here. So this is an actual table. It's brought down to the ground. It's actually a really light color, but it turned into a nice cherry wood color once I brought it down here, and that's because of the light fields within the map. If I saved it as an invention, it would not keep this color, sadly. But it is cool. So we're going to be using a lot of this kind of stuff. We're going to be using probably these floors here just to give it a really nice kind of vibe, old arcade look. It's not going to be exactly what he wants, but it's going to be pretty close. And we're going to mix some realism with actual maker pen objects. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to experiment a lot with the props. So if I looked at this bookshelf, for example, we got this like really nice wood texture on the back. And what we can do is we can select this and we can scale this up, right? I'm going to go ahead and I have to make sure that I have it completely selected. So we got this kind of wood floor. We can use this as a wood floor, and this is a bookshelf. So if we looked at this is actually quite like really nice bookshelf. You could probably use this for a lot of different things. Yeah, so like we got like this kind of texture in here. I'm gonna go ahead and freeze this because it's selected. We also have this kind of like really interesting texture in here as well. So we're probably going to use a lot of these like little interesting things to get what we want in this map. I'm gonna go ahead and unfreeze that and delete it. So now that that's gone, go ahead and open up this palette. We look at the chair. If we look at the chair here, we got this like kind of like interesting texture as well. It's not texture. Hold on, we might want to bring this into the light a little bit more to see what's on here. Yeah, so we have like this fabric kind of texture. So if we did like if I scale this up, I'm gonna be like kind of like really experimental here, guys. So hopefully you guys can just kind of bear with me here. So like if I brought this up, go ahead and select, and I brought this to the ground here. I want to make sure I'm on snap though. Snap. Okay. Go ahead and freeze that object, and then I grabbed a maker pen object and I go into red, and then let's go here. And it looks like this color red because in this part of the map it actually looks like this red, and in this part of the map it looks like this red. So they look like two different things because they're in two different parts of the map, so it's like different lighting. So we're going to be playing around with a lot with that, so that's pretty good. But this is going to be a hangout map, so it's going to be really relatively cool. Anyways. Clone. Go ahead and manipulate that. Drag those arrows there. Clone. So like this is a way I could like create a really kind of interesting chair that's actually using an actual shape. So that's a little bit more experimental on that end. I can actually get more kind of looking more detailed. I can just bring this in and then going into clone this. There we go. And then yeah, so it looks like a kind of like a really cool couch, right? We could also like change the colors. I don't know. Let's see. Nope. 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 So I probably would have to like play with the colors a little bit more here, but definitely can like really just add realism with actual maker pen objects. I don't know if a lot of people have done this quite yet. Dig that in there. Just push that in a little bit more. Alright. So it looks like an actual kind of like interesting couch that kind of looks like real in a way. So what do you guys think? Yeah, I would really like to wish that PSVR don't crash in rooms, but we're working more on the back end to see what objects are actually crashing on PSVR. It is being looked at. It's more on the back end. The quest rooms are not taking up mostly, are only taking up 80%, usually max. The boss level might be taking up a little bit more than that, but we haven't really gone over 80%, so in any of the rooms. Okay, so someone mentioned gizmos. Hold on. Yeah, if you actually check up, I can't really show you how to make a roller coaster map because I'm not that advanced in gizmos like Ced is. If you look up Ced, he is the best with roller coasters. He has actually already built roller coaster maps, so if you want to look up Ced, he is on Discord in, hopefully I get him in Build Sport, but he is on Discord, and you can message him also in Rec Room, because he has done a lot of really experimental maps. One of his maps that I actually featured last week, it was working with actual large signs and how those were actually placed. I thought that was really cool. And then you can actually look at some of his maps, because he actually has a really cool roller coaster and it actually works and everything. You can actually ride it. So you should check that out. Well, honestly, these are really simple arcade machines, I'm telling you. This is as simple as I'm going to get them to be. I can make them more simple, but I don't want to. But this is... Wait a second. There's something wrong with this. Hold on, guys. Yeah, that's interesting. Alright, don't know how that happened. Oh, that's why. That's how that happened. That's actually tied to that object. That's alright. We'll go ahead and delete that. Delete that. Yeah. Alright. So because I have this actually tied to that object, I actually don't want these tied to the object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into edit, and I can get into all these shapes here. I'm going to go ahead and select all these shapes here. Ooh. Okay. Sure I have everything selected. Yes. Okay, so I'm not gonna select any of those shapes because I want them to be separate. So what I'll do, like, I have these dots that pop up. If those dots do not pop up, just go ahead and unselect one thing and select it again, and the dots will pop up again. And then you can go ahead and split objects. So now this is not a part of this group again. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into done editing, and now these are two separate groups. So that's a really good way. Now I could hook them up. Oh, see, I did miss one. Whoops. Oh well, that's okay. That's okay. That's alright. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, that's alright. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But go ahead and undo move shape. Undo move shape. There we go. So yeah. So how I created these bricks is basically I created them at a small scale, and then I scaled them up, and then I added a shape behind it to give it some of that kind of like brick look. This is actually using a red, but because it's in the placement right now, it looks like a dark kind of a different color, which is fine. Kind of what I want. And when you get more onto this side, it looks more red. So we don't need that, but there you go. Now I can go into more detail and I can just select these individuals and make them different colors just to give it more kind of effect. I can make this black. Oh wait, did that work? Yeah, so that's actually looking kind of strange because so like you can bring in some different colors just to like break up the overall look. So now you can see like we have this like really cool like teal look. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that was there. So what we can do is we can like edit. We created a shape here. Let's go ahead and create it's kind of like the same teal. No, it's definitely more lighter over there. So if we created the shape here and we go into manipulate, this is on a different group here. Go into clone. Go ahead and select, clone. Alright, and then we go into create a shape. Go ahead and this one. I'll go ahead and drag this over here. Hopefully this works. Yep, and you can see like the shadows, like you can see the little shadows. It's like changing colors a little bit. Yep. It wasn't much, but it's gonna be a lot when it's like in a dark room. This is gonna stand out a lot. It's gonna look really good. Just like this, it looks really good too. I want to find the pink, and I haven't found the pink yet, but once I find the pink, it's gonna be great. But I might check it. I want to see this green color. No, that's all right. All right. So that's pretty good there. I'm gonna check my comments real quick. Well, great. I'm glad to. I can't wait to see your arcade. Definitely can't wait. I have to make arcade right now, so it's gonna be pretty intense. So what I'm also looking at is like, okay, so I have to like use these kind of realism objects, and this is like a very large chair. It's kind of an interesting way of doing that, and then bringing a maker pen object just to like tie it in. So you like have like realism with kind of like maker pen object. So it's kind of like bringing in those kind of things. It's gonna be kind of cool there. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out a couple other objects here. And you know, like if you look at the chips here, like this is kind of interesting too. Like if you look at these chips, we have like these really kind of interesting textures on these as well. Go ahead and bring this in actual light. Kind of got like this like nice solid black to it. So I also have to be careful about how much room this is actually taking. So if I go and look it up, it's like 13.04%. That's like adding just a little bit there. So like if I scale this up here, look at that nice kind of like shadow effect there. It's pretty good there. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna snap this in place and move this. So that's kind of a nice way to like break up space. So you can have like a really nice black wall. You might be able to like put something on this wall, but look at this shadow on it. And it's just a big circuit guys. It's a big circuit, and you know, look, it has really cool words on it. So why can't I use that as an art piece? I could probably use that as an art piece as well. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you can use that. Looks pretty good. And then I can go in here and go into like gizmos. I can probably check out some of the gizmos there. Look at the textures. Like if I look at this chair for a sample, let's check out this chair. We got this kind of like fabric look. Got that look. But then we look at, you can see it as a chair, but it can like be so many things, you guys. Like what if this was like an arcade machine? Like we could probably select this. And probably like make that into an arcade. Not that I would want that as an arcade machine, but I could probably make it into an arcade machine, guys. Yeah, now it's flipping out because it's an actual object. So go ahead and if we just like place this here and then let's freeze it. Let's see what this looks like blown up. Looks pretty good. Looks like it has like a nice blue to it. Interesting. Probably not going to use that, but it's an interesting way of using it. It's probably like falling into the ground. Yeah, it'll disappear. I'm not too worried. All right. Go ahead and yeah, it's good to use it. Thanks, Mr. X for watching my stream. Let's take a look at this chair here. So we have this interesting chair. We're probably gonna use like a lot of these chairs actually because they are realistic. Oh, well, look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's probably like spawning back. Okay, so I'm probably gonna catch it once it spawns back and then delete that. All right, once it comes back, it's all right. It's probably gonna continue coming back. I'm not worried. All right. Okay, so I have this interesting chair, but look at this wood, guys. Blow this up. Got some interesting things there going on. We got the actual kind of like metal pieces that we could use, but I'm probably not going to use those. All right, there we go. All right, I'm gonna need to delete this chair once it comes back. All right, chair, where are you? Oh, there we go. Got it. Ha. Okay, that's out of the way. All right, go ahead and we're gonna open up our palette again. We're gonna take a look what we have here. Ooh, I haven't actually checked out the lockers. What do they look like when they're blown up? Let's go ahead and scale, select. I'm actually gonna take it off and make sure it's on select though. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, could probably use that a little bit. Probably not though. Yeah, so like if you like look at objects, definitely can find, probably could use goals as well as neon effects. Whoops, definitely don't want to touch my object there. Look at
Goal!
Yeah. Definitely could
Goal!
use
Goal!
this.
Goal! 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 Goal!
It's too bad I can't manipulate this. It'll be really cool to manipulate that. But we can go ahead and scale this down.
Goal! 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 Goal!
And probably scale it down just a little bit more.
Goal! Goal!
And it can become a screen. Guys, look at that. A real arcade machine. That doesn't work. I've noticed that like a lot of people will blow holotars up and it'll have like these really nice kind of like at the bottom, they can use them as structures. That's kind of cool too. Lights have a really interesting kind of effect as well, and so do doors, but doors are frustrating to work with, so we're not gonna use those. But you could also draw things. Like you can actually paint things and like blow them up, and you can actually use them as textures. Like Jay Balloona did some really good examples on that as well. We can look at guns too. Like they have like really interesting effects. So if we went into weapons, we can find these. Oh great. Anyways, we can find these like objects here, and like they have like huge textures. So if you like blow them up, you can actually really find those type of textures. Yeah, I'm probably gonna see those later. Anyways, go ahead and you can also create these really kind of cool neon. So if this was like, we're gonna go ahead and select this real quick because I'm probably gonna use these guns actually to create some of my background textures. Go ahead and move. Let's see what that looks like. That looks kind of cool. Just experimenting a little bit, you guys. Yeah. And I go ahead and freeze that. And that could actually kind of create some like kind of neon effect, and that looks like pretty realism, bringing realism and integrating it with maker pen objects and creating kind of like a all around atmosphere. I think that would look really nice, giving these also effects to kind of like tying it all in together and making it work, because I think that this can work. So I'm gonna take a look here. Great. So hopefully like this kind of like brings out some pretty good ideas for you guys. I'm gonna start making some other stuff because I made this chair. I'm gonna need to make all kinds of really cool, interesting objects. Next thing I need to make is I'm gonna actually have to make a bowling alley, and I'm probably going to use this floor as my bowling alley floor. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this floor as my bowling alley. I think I got this. I think I got this, you guys. I also need a nice kind of like solid blue type of wall, and I probably can find that. Let's see. Go into sports. Let's see what we have in here. Kind of like a blue shape. Got these pots. Might experiment with that a little bit. Could definitely experiment with concrete. Let's go in here. Let's see what I have in here. Blue. I need a blue fish. I don't think that's gonna work too well. Blue flag. Oh, I'm definitely probably gonna use a lot of these actually. Yeah, that's gonna bring in some light zones. That's gonna look really good. Let's see here. Ooh, I haven't actually tried the paddle ball. Let's see what this looks like when it's blown up. Go ahead and select it, and we're going to scale this up. Let's see. Go ahead and freeze. This looks like, I don't really like the color too much. Probably not going to use that. Let's see what else we have. I'm looking for like a blue object. I might have to actually draw it. Oh, actually, glow sticks. Can't forget about glow sticks. Glow sticks are the best to scale up because they create such great atmosphere. We actually did this in the Jade's map.
Goal!
Look how beautiful that looks. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, that looks really good too. And then you can like create designs on top of this, so it kind of looks more like it's in a wall, but it kind of like highlights like this really awesome design. That will look really awesome. Go ahead. Oh yeah, we also will have like this really interesting kind of wall floor effect that we need to create, and I think I just figured out. Oh man, I didn't freeze that glow stick. Oh, it's gonna come back. All right, that's all right. Go ahead and we're gonna scale this up. Okay.
Goal!
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move this Probably like I'm just gonna like test this area here. I'm gonna drag this in just so slightly. Go back. Oh wait, I'm off scale, dang it. Go back on the grid. Definitely want to grab this object again. It's kind of looking like a mess in here, so I apologize for that. Definitely want to scale this down. Yeah, about right there. Go back into move, go down the map. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and freeze this. And then what I'm gonna do on this object, I'm gonna go into shapes, go into maker pin object, black, and then I'm going to have I'm gonna have to create like a checkered pattern. But it's kind of like gonna be an off checker pattern. Now I could do this with wedges. They have more of a sharp corner to them, but wedges take up more space in the map, so I'm going to try to stay away from wedges as much as possible. And cylinders take up some space. So, clone. So what I do is basically I try to figure out some kind of like design. Okay, I'm going to go in here. Go ahead and clone. Try to create like a pattern shape, but it's not actually turning out the way I want it to, but you can actually create kind of like interesting floors this way. But if you do that and you notice like how like these objects are like kind of like poking out, what you can do is that you can grab this like a maker pin object here, bring it back in, bring a little bit of an edge there, and like kind of cover that up. And then push it forward, just like so. And we're just going to drag it down just a little bit. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and clone. Alright, so you can see like kind of evens everything out, but you can also get like this really cool kind of effect with your floors by using glow sticks. You can also create really nice patterns on the actual floor. So we're gonna see here. Yes. All right. Yes. So that looks pretty interesting there, but it's not gonna get me what I want. I already kind of figured that out, but I can get in some pretty good glowing floor effects by using the lighting fields in this map, so that's probably the direction I'm going to be going. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these objects here. Yeah. And I'm probably gonna actually use the plants too, like to bring in a little bit more realism. Well, looks kind of good. It's kind of cool. Now, just so you know that this floor looks cherry because of the lighting field in this map. If I actually brought this floor up, it will look like a nice, good tan table, which is fine too. Go ahead and delete that as well. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna check out my comments here real quick. All right, great. Do you guys have any questions about like light fields or like how to get what you need, to get done. These are like simple techniques about like how to like bring some textures into your map if you want to. Again, AG is looking at getting some textures in the map at some point. I just don't know when. But someday we'll have that. I'm gonna go ahead and scale this up here. I want to see what this looks like. Go ahead and freeze that. So this is kind of like an interesting way to keep the floor too. Like a darker floor look, and this is just an upside down table. It's an upside down table. So like this could be like really cool, like a wall effect or a ceiling. I could probably use this as a ceiling, and I probably will use that as a ceiling. So that's pretty cool too. I moved this up actually if I don't freeze this.
Gold!
Yeah. And just put this up right here for now, and then I'm going to select it. There we go. And then bring this down here. So slightly. Yeah. Go ahead and freeze. Alright. That kind of looks like a nice little ceiling there. Kind of interesting. Probably would use that as a ceiling for one of the rooms that I'm going to be working on. Cool. Alright, and then I'll probably like add some like light fields like this blue along the sides just to give it some kind of like vibration theme, and it will kind of like tie in the whole map. That's good. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and check out my comments. I know. Don't worry. This is why you don't want to use a large object in this color, because it is hurting. It does hurt people's eyes. But as you see, this is actually the original color, but I'm using a light field in the map. Wait, it's down here. Yeah. In the map over there. That's where you can find the light field. I'm just going to use it sparingly on a couple objects here. So like it's going to be just this. Like it's just going to be like little lights, just kind of like bringing things together. So that's that. I'm actually going to go and create. Let's see, I need to figure out what I'm going to create next. Actually, I was going to get out some floors. Yes, I do need to create some kind of like chairs, so I'm actually going to do that. I did create this kind of like couch. It kind of looks like real, bringing some realism with an actual maker pen object. It's kind of cool, but I also need to make some other couches as well, so I'm going to do that right now. Go ahead and open up my palette here, my cube, take a look at the image that I need to make this couch from. Alright. I'm trying to make this couch kind of simple too, but it is kind of like an important piece in the game, but we'll see. I'm actually going to use a line, so I'm going to go ahead and press a line here and align these objects so like it doesn't go into that object. Kind of like brings that together. Go ahead and select both of these shapes. Move this into a light area. There we go. Great. I'm gonna go ahead and clone this object. I have a line selected, so it's not going into the shape. So like when you have a line selected, it doesn't go, but it aligns on that object. Like it's just like so. So I'm probably gonna do the exact same thing. This is a really big chair that I'm working on right now, but I'll make it smaller a little bit later. Sometimes it's best to work just really big or really small and then blow it up later, which is fine. Go ahead and move this a little bit over. Alright. Okay. I'm going to create the bottom of the chair now. Go ahead and select both of these. Clone it. Bottom of the chair. Ooh, yeah, so now I don't want a line on because it's having those problems there. So I'm taking it off a line right now. Going to have it like that. Alright, and then I'm going to bring in a back. So I'm going to go ahead and clone. I'm going to put this in here just like so. Go ahead and manipulate this down. I'm going to manipulate just so slightly out. Great. And I'm going to make the arms now. So I'm going to go ahead and clone this object here. I'm going to tie it in. I'm going to push it down back to where the arms are going to be. It's kind of not a really great looking chair, but okay, and clone. Alright. Go ahead and clone again. Put this there. I'm gonna give it that kind of like depth look. There we go. Go ahead and select. Really don't like those long part of the chair. I mean, that's kind of the image I'm going off of, but I'm actually not really a big fan of the bigger objects on the side like that. Maybe it'll look better when it's scaled down, but if I continue to still not like it, I probably will switch it up into something that I like a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and bring these down just so slightly. I mean, you can copy all you want, but you know, if it doesn't work, you know, you can always change it. You don't have to like copy people exactly. Like you can make your own stuff, guys. Definitely am a big fan of making my own stuff. So, right, there we go. Bring this down. I'm not a big fan of this chair. I'm going to change it. Alright. Okay. I'm going to scale it down just in case. Done. Scale. Take it off snap when I'm scaling. I still don't like it. Oh wait, I did mess up. So I'll go ahead and bring this down. That's probably why it looks so odd. That's probably why I didn't like it. Because these weren't down. Alright, that looks a little bit better actually. Go ahead and back part here. And we'll have like 6 of these chairs. There's gonna be like a theater in here. So we'll definitely have like 6 of these chairs going on. I'm actually going to thin this up a little bit more. And I'm probably going to delete this one. Go ahead and select all these objects over here to save myself time and go ahead and clone. And, ooh, I'm not on snap, so definitely want to be on snap here. There we go. Let's try to line that up just like so. Can drag this object over just a little bit. There we go. Looks pretty good, looks pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna take a look at my comments real quick. Yeah, what kind of questions do you have, Lucas? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Definitely for roles. Yeah, I get a lot of those questions actually, and I'm definitely gonna make a tutorial specifically on roles because it is very complicated. Alright, so and I think we actually have one up on RecNet somewhere. I mean, not RecNet, but up on YouTube somewhere. So if we go into like this room and we go into setup, we go into roles, you see roles here, and you have add role. Okay, so you definitely want to add role. Let's say we can add, let's add VIP. And we create that role, and now we have VIP roles. All right, so if all VIP roles, you could edit their voice roll-offs. You can have all these restrictions here, like you can do like shoulder equips, and this is only for the VIP role. You can move or you can fly. Like if I did a all can fly here, you could do like pickup restrictions. You could do none, restrict all, allow tags, block tags, all these type of things here that you can do. So when you do that, you can go back into this room and go into permissions, and you can actually add them. You actually add them here, and then you can go auto assign game roles here, edit, and then you add a role. So that would be VIP. Add VIP, and then that allows you to add that role. So that's done. And then since that's being added to co-owners, it's not being added to host. You go back into host, and you go in miscellaneous, auto assign game roles, VIP, right? Now what you can do is, if I created a trigger zone, let's go ahead and grab a trigger zone real quick. Go ahead and grab a trigger zone. Alright, trigger zone. We want these little guys here. So like if we go and hover over this, you want definitely use the wire tool here. So you would go over like when exiting zone, total currency in zone, which means like total players are in zone. When entering zone, so oh wait, this is when exiting and this is when entering. So you will definitely want to go back to your chips. You want to go to game chips, take a look here. This is like player hit chip, don't want that. Score, get score chip, get player start chip. No, chip, there's one chip. Where is that? Games chip. Maybe it's in others. Oh yeah, roll mapper chip. Definitely that is one that we want. Yeah, so we want to get that one. This is basically our roll chip here. Go ahead and connect when entering zone. Wait. Okay, configure. We want to add the VIP setting. So anybody who enters into the zone now will definitely be able to fly, because we have those. So anything that's added to the VIP settings, let's go ahead, go back in this room, roles. Anything that's added to VIP settings, this trigger zone will add to that player that's going into this zone, and then they can fly, because that's what the VIP does. Now if we want them to actually have an object spawn into their hand when entering into the zone, we can go into let's go configure. Wait, yep. Wait, player has role, add player role. We definitely want to add player role. You could also remove the player role. You can, player has a role, player role's changed. Those type of things can happen. So if we did, let's go ahead and do this again. Go into, can we do that? Or do that, it has to be a respawn? It might have to be a respawn. Go ahead. Actually, yes. Let's get a respawn chip here. Respawn point. Go ahead and wire. Set item respawn point here. When team is at respawn point, respawn player here. Yeah, we don't, that's the wrong one. When entering zone, and then we can do a maker pin object. Let's go ahead and do a maker pin object, And this will have, go ahead and press done, go ahead and go configure, and we can edit a tag here. We call this add tag, call this M. Okay, and then we can go into here and go into configure here, and then we can go into tag for primary hand respawn. Yep, I'm gonna go just put M. Okay, so that has M. Alright, let's try this, guys. Ta-da! Yep, I have an object in my hand now. So you can do that with weapons and stuff like that. Pretty simple. Alright, go ahead and delete that. These are ways that you can create roles in many different forms. Alright, I'm gonna take a look at my comments here. Takes time, guys. Takes time to figure out, and like contact your, work with your buddies in Rec Room to just go through the menus and figure out like how to add tags, because it's just adding tags to objects and then adding them to respawn points, and then you can go into roles, and then you could make a stage. Like anybody that's entering this role that doesn't have VIP will get spawned out of. And you can find all of that in the stage templates. I have all that set up in the stage templates, so you can take a look at those too. Yeah, and you can also save them as inventions and break them into your own maps. So that's pretty good. Alright, what were we working on now? I lost track of things. Oh yes, the chairs. Okay, so now that we have this chair, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at something else I need to build. Let's see. Definitely need to build a bowling alley. That's going to be interesting. Tables. Definitely need to build a table. Probably will do that. Alright. Go ahead and build a table, actually, because I actually still need to do a bunch of tables. This table I'm going to be building is going to be relatively simple, so go ahead and draw this big round shape. It's gonna be a big round table. It's not gonna be a big round table, but I'm just making it big for right now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and manipulate this down. I did the uniform shape, so I make sure that my shape is at a uniform fixed height and width, and then I manipulate it down, so I'll make sure that it's kind of like really nice and round, and I'm not messing around. So then I go into like scale. I drag it off of the snap, and I can scale it down here, just like so. And then go ahead and manipulate again. Oops, didn't manipulate that wrong. Manipulate down. Pretty good. And then take a look at the table that I need to build again. Okay. Go ahead and actually it's kind of detailed. I'm going to build this table a little bit detailed right now, but I'm probably going to simplify it later, which is fine. And then I'm going to clone this. Oh, and I'm off snap. So I'm going to go back on snap. Going to this here, just like so. And scale it down. It's not quite in the center, but I'm going to recolor this object here. I'm going to recolor it black. And snap. And then go into manipulate shape. So I have that texture. And then I'm going to clone this again. So like I'm just going to clone this a couple times. And move this down just like so. Okay. So now I have like a really kind of interesting edge on my table. It's kind of nice. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it's quite right, because it doesn't feel like it's aligned quite right there. Yeah, oh, looks a little bit better. Hate when that happens. Alright. Great. I'm going to go ahead and select all of that. Oh wait, no it's not. It's not right. That's right. Okay. When that happens. so hard to see. Alright, I'm gonna undo that move. Undo. Ugh. So I'm like looking at the bottom here. Alright, probably gonna have to fix it a little bit later. Don't want to spend too much time just like looking at this little piece on stream. Alright. Alright. Anyways. I'm gonna go ahead. It's definitely not right. That's alright. Fix it a little bit later. Sorry guys, it's kind of bothering me. I'm sure it's bothering you too. Alright, great. Alright, so now I'm going back into Cube. I'm gonna make this really long. Oh wait, I'm fixed on undo that. Go into settings, deselect uniform shapes. I'm going to take a look at this table I need to build. Right? I'll go ahead and move this like this, like so. There we go. It's gonna be in just so slightly. I'm gonna bring this up, and then the legs come down just like that. Actually, the legs are more bent. So I'll drag that down just like so, and then select, clone. Wait, I need to select again, and then go ahead and go into clone. Good, snap. Probably gonna do like every other one here. Keep consistent here. So I have 1, 2 indentations. Alright, bring this to the other side. Just like so. Move this again. Alright. Move again. Clone. Again. Alright. I'm gonna probably bring this down. So it's not showing. Probably gonna go back through these and make sure that they're all pretty similar here. Good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and clone this object. Oh man, hope I don't have to go off snap. I might have to go back. I might have to go off snap on this, which I'm not too pleased. But see if we can make this work as much as possible, you guys. Ah, it works. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Nope. I'm definitely gonna have to go off snap. Dang it! Alright. I hate doing this. Alright, guys, I'm off snap, so here we go. I'm getting the angles that I would like. Okay. Alright, so I'm just kind of eyeing it. Alright. Bring this over. Right. Again. It's a little high. It's a little high. Huh. And clone again. Alright, clone again. Alright, I'm gonna take a look at my comments real quick. Oh, Nathie's in the chat. Welcome, Nathie! We're just creating some assets for your room. Yeah. So we got some kind of things that we're experimenting with, bringing in some lighting effects, using this map to bring into that. So we'll be tying in realism with maker pen objects, couches, and so forth. So we're just experimenting at the moment, but we'll be tying a lot of things in together to make more realism and focusing on also creating simple shapes. So we'll have some arcade machines working, and then we'll have some arcades just, you know, being artsy. So, yeah. Alright, so we're just gonna dive down into this table here a little bit more. There we go. Great. Go ahead and make this part blue. And it's not snap. We'll go ahead and move it down. Go ahead and recolor that blue. Definitely a dark blue. Scale. I'll probably try to find like a glowing blue that's not too intense, just like the one that we found. So there we go. And we're gonna go and actually go ahead back into edit. Go ahead and select all these shapes here. Deselect those. Go ahead and clone. Make sure that's on a snap. Ooh, off snap there. That's not cool. Not cool. Alright. That's alright. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and scale this. Move this down. Go ahead and just like so. It's not straight. Not straight, guys. We're just not gonna use that. Just did not turn out well. Alright, go ahead back into clone. Actually, we're just gonna clone this object. We're actually going to make sure that we are on a freeze rotation on move. So we're not moving in any direction. We're just gonna move this down, just like so. Okay. And then we're going to scale this down. Go ahead and clone. Scale it down. Go ahead and recolor shape. Black. Recolor. Alright. Props. We're gonna go into decor. Where is it? Decor? No. It's actually in kitchen. Bottles. Yeah. Oops. So. Interesting table there, and then if we scale it down, so little bit better. Oh wait, I'm on freeze no rotation. There we go. I was like wondering why it wasn't working. There we go. Yeah. And then we're probably going to have like this kind of glowing. Probably doing kind of like try to find this color here and then in the map and then try to get this to glow so it has more of a neon effect with the full map that we're going to be putting together. For sure. Alright, I'm just going to take a look at my comments real quick. Alright, so basically that's the route that we're gonna take. Probably gonna be here on for like a 15 more minutes. Created this chair. Probably we're gonna need like 6 of these chairs because we're gonna actually have a home theater. And I'm probably gonna create the screen next for the home theater. Go ahead and stream home theater area. Yes. Oh, well, I messed that up. Guys, do you see this? I gotta clone this up. Actually, delete that. Clone. Go. Now, another way we could do this is we can go to our palette, go to props, go into like a wine glass, and then we could turn this upside down. Scale. Select scale. Oh wait, that's not scaling. Oh boy. Scale. Okay. There we go. And then okay, I'm gonna select again. Move this. Oops. Why? Okay. Can actually create really cool lighting effects using this glass here. Could probably even create a table and scale that a little bit more. Yep. And if we will go into, go ahead and freeze. We can go into maker pin object and then go into white. And what we can do is we can recolor. We can bring in some more different shapes as well. Look, looks nice. So kind of like have a nice like glass table, as you can see. Pretty neat just how to use actual props to actually make couches and to make tables and to make walls to give on like a neon effect throughout the whole map. Also, you know, create some type of realism with everything. So I'm going to take a look at my comments real quick. Alright guys, I'm going to call it a good stream right now. It's just giving you guys some ideas about how to use realism in your map, because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing with this map. Gonna bring in some kind of like some wooden floors and break it up with some realism carpets and things that will bring the map together. It's gonna be an awesome arcade. We're gonna get this thing going. So, alright. I'm gonna call it a day, and I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I hope you guys learned a couple of things. Hope I gave you guys a couple of ideas on like how to build things, and hope you guys learned a couple of different things for sure. So I'll take a look at my chat real quick here. Yeah, you can actually make a chair lean back. If you actually added a trigger zone to a chair, and you probably even like add like a little button to the chair, like it's a trigger zone, and they press it, that trigger zone could activate a circuit, which activates a gizmo, and the gizmo could have a rotator, like a rotating gizmo, and the rotating gizmo can like pop up the leg of the chair, so it looks like you're actually sitting on the chair. So you can actually do that. So you're going to make it go down and make it go back up with a trigger zone that activates the circuit, that activates the gizmo on a rotator, and it'll go back up and it'll go back down. So that's a way you can make that happen for sure. Well, you could technically do it, so it's not impossible. I'm just telling you, it's not impossible. It's definitely possible to do it. But you're just gonna have to get some gizmos, and it's actually pretty simple to use a rotating gizmo. It's not that hard. So, and don't forget your wave chips. Okay, you got to use the wave chips to make them go back and forth with the gizmos. And make sure you use a wave chip. All right, I'm gonna make sure that you guys had a good one, and hopefully you guys learned a couple of things here. We're going to be using a lot of really cool things in this map, hence why I'm using a laser tag map. I can get some really cool lighting effects to get all these really cool interesting lights and textures that I'm going to be using for Nathie's room. Alright, you guys have a good night, and thank you guys for hanging out with me, and hopefully you guys learned a couple of cool things. So have a good one.